All right. Reclaim the slurs. Exactly, bro.
Wait, I didn't even. I might have to incorporate this.
This elf is approximately 16% elf. This is acceptable.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, shit.
All right. The conversation between Six and Arun had just ended, so you actually came out of the room. Did Arun stay in the closet? Arun, did you leave the closet?
That's a funny way to phrase that, but yes, I did.
Okay, got it. All right, so Arun and Six both leave the closet.
Closets are pretty comfortable.
Both of them? Oh my god!
This is news.
Oh my god.
I mean,
So you guys
You know
left
what?
the goddamn closet. I don't know if anyone wants to stare at you guys as you do that. Because they...
nah, Lusat's just chilling out, bleeding out in a corner, picking bullets.
Yolk is physically incapable of staring at something.
How about you, Amelie? What is your reaction?
Sure. I'll stare at them.
Nice.
Yeah, you stare at
She
us all
stares
the
at
time.
everything. What do you mean?
That is mean.
All right.
But true.
Yeah, you're right.
What about Yulk? Does he vibrate at us?
What? Okay, no, he's probably just satisfied with the conversation prior.
Okay. Gonna stare back at Amelie? Nice.
Yeah. With like a deadpan expression.
Oh. Man, I thought we were chill.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm just like looking at you with a resting face.
Okay.
So,
Hell yeah.
Amelie, you've not healed him yet. Do you make a motion to attempt to? Because I know you've definitely seen the wounds.
Yeah.
Do you accept Six?
Obviously. I was planning on going to ask her myself, but
Six goes to lay down in the bed, and Amelie starts investigating the blood, the places where he got shot. Eventually, she relaxes a bit and puts her palms on both of the areas where he'd been shot. She starts muttering the spell, Cure Wounds. 6, make a Constitution save for me.
oh boy.
Yeah, bullets coming out of your skin is not particularly fun.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Not great.
As you hear the words for Cure Wounds, you would have expected to start feeling the pain of bullets coming out of your skin. However, you instead almost feel lulled to sleep. You can't keep your eyes open any longer, and you rest.
What next?
What next? Well, you fall asleep, and I'm assuming Amelie seems satisfied.
That would be true.
I'm assuming you thus remove your hands from him and then cover him up with a blanket and let him rest.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm gonna leave him freezing in the cold. I don't know what temperature it is.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
He did sleep without a blanket last time.
Okay, did anyone actually sleep last time?
I did.
I don't
Or
think
were
y'all
we
did, and
listening
I'm not
to
apologizing.
Mike's words grinding on that thing.
My character never woke up during that whole thing.
Regardless, I'm assuming
There you
Arun
go.
would probably be only other person paying any remote kind of attention to this.
I mean, I would probably
Yolk would
take note of
be-
how it seemed to put him to sleep, so I'm assuming that it, like, accelerated the body's healing process and used up a bunch of energy. That's my best guess.
Okay.
The bullets
But-
did exit my flesh, right?
Yes.
I
That's
did
kind of
take,
an important detail.
I took a bit of note of it, but I'm not, like... I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm just like, that's weird. Anyway.
Yes.
Would Yolk notice Arun's sudden change of demeanor?
Like when she exited the closet?
Yes.
Ah. Probably.
Can
Yeah,
I
would you, like-
roll insight?
Arun, would you make it obvious that you were sad?
I would say at this moment it's probably faded to the point where it's just slightly solemn and not really sad.
I feel like
changed
he could be
demeanor.
mistaken for exhaustion.
Yeah, it's like I just appear to have like a generally lower mood, not necessarily distraught or sad, just like
Well, in
Less
that
energy.
tired or solemn or something like that. If you wanted like a bit more information on how they're feeling, I would let you roll insight, but I'm not going to promise it'll give you that much information.
Yolk's probably not going to pry any further.
Okay.
It's probably late, so Yolk's probably going to get some sleep. Or at least attempt to.
You hear a knock on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get that, Yolk says.
Everybody who's out in the open, I'm just going to shoo to get out of sight, and to Lucette, I'm going to point to gonna point to Six and ask if he can drag him somewhere else.
Drag him? That is so mean.
That's probably a terrible idea. As long as Six is not in line of sight, it doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure I would be in line of sight.
If you're on a bed, I don't know if you would be. Because doors don't normally open directly to the bed.
I have the layout.
Post in chat so the audience
I'm
may see
looking
it.
for it. Where did
I got
there
it.
it is.
Oh, you got it? Okay, nice.
Yeah, I got it.
No.
Oh, we both did it at the same time. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfectly
so
timed.
the bed's
The beds are not
Okay,
in
the
sight.
beds are walled off. Okay.
not in sight.
I wouldn't be asking Lucette to do that if he's hidden over there. All right.
Where's the door?
Can
It's on
Yolk?
the bottom left.
Okay, that's the door.
Actually,
I wanna
I think the door would be
right next
more
to
likely to open inward. Okay, so if the door opens inward, Yolk is going to hug the wall by the door, flattened up against it as much as possible, so that he can listen in on a conversation and also do something if necessary.
Yolk, roll perception for me.
Ooh, first perception roll.
Timed nat 1.
Real.
The beds are in white, the tables and chairs are in yellow, and the doors are little open lines and levers. Yes. Yes, that is accurate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yolk hears a voice. It's me.
Do I recognize the voice?
You immediately recognize the voice. It's Ron.
Ew.
What is he doing here?
I don't doubt that it's wrong, but I'm going to be careful just in case. So assuming everybody's out of line of sight now, I'm going to open the door.
He tips his hat. Evening.
Ew.
And to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, for starters, I think this job is going to require more hands than I initially anticipated. He motions his head toward the room.
Yolk relaxes a little bit.
And what makes you say that?
Let him in.
Let's get into it later.
Okay, come in. I step out of the way.
Ron opens the door a bit inward and motions to someone else to follow. Mel, if you would like to describe what they look like, you can now.
I didn't think that far ahead.
That's real.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
Okay, relevant question. Which way does the door open?
Inward.
Inward.
Okay. That's the size of that closet? Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, I
Yes.
told you it was a big closet.
That thing's the size of my house.
You're in a
Dang,
very
like-
lavish hotel.
Pretty much everyone here only has one set of clothes.
Clothes? What clothes?
Oh
Minus
god.
the one who's naked all the time.
Okay, I think I have an idea.
All
I
right,
think
go
I'm
ahead and
the-
describe
I'm the
them.
only one with multiple sets of clothes.
Yeah, because she just makes them up as she goes along.
Wait, what time
Fair
of
enough.
what time of day is it in here?
It is night. It is like
Okay.
night.
Okay, swag. I got this.
Although, at the same time, do remember we are underground.
Okay. You
Time
hear a
is
big
relevant.
clunk of metal, as there is a step taken in the room.
Oh my gosh, are you boars?
God damn it! God damn it! I can't escape. I can't escape the
Is it
bridge.
Boris the Warforged?
The fridge!
The fridge.
Take it to the
Okay.
fridge!
My God.
There's
Okay,
a
Fight
well,
clunky
actually
metal
best
step
that.
taken in the room,
all right. I had
and
to.
you see ears poke in the door.
What kind?
Fuzzy ones.
Okay. You're not on the hit list.
Non-fuzzy ears, as
Yeah.
like a rabbit.
There's a muffled evening, and a small bow. It appears to be a Siamese tabaxi. She doesn't have much to say.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if Orun has ever seen a tabaxi before. Do you know if tabaxi are
Khajiit.
like exist where I'm from?
They're not common if they exist at all. Maybe a couple of mountain cat varieties, but
What type of tabaxi did you describe?
Siamese.
It's
Siamese
in the-
cat.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention. I sent a little picture,
Yay!
a little visual to pair with the description.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I'm still the tallest.
I look at Ron and I ask if there's anything else that he wants to say, because if not, I would like to close the door as quickly as possible.
Close the door, obviously. He motions to Vale to close the door.
She shuts it behind her, careful to not close it on her tail.
Is this about what I requested?
Oh, yes, for starters, Vale, the parts. You fumble through your bag and find telecommunications parts.
Perfect.
Puts them on the table.
Arun, I assume that you can be
Yes, I can
Efficient
make
enough?
things with it. Yes, I can do it just like I did with the other one. I have one completed, right?
You have, yeah, you made one, but you needed more.
Okay,
So this
right.
is your second half.
obviously I don't have an ear or anything like that for an earpiece, so it would have to be modified specifically to be like a contact speaker on my skin.
I nod. So, you're just here for that?
Well,
I-
little more than that.
I assume Ron wouldn't waste his precious physical time to be here in a hotel room.
Neither mine.
Vale, the shipment, please.
She places the shipment gently on the table.
What is said shipment? Is it a box?
It's a small shot bottle.
You've got to be kidding me, Yolk says. So much for in their own time.
Considering the state that we're in right now, I think I should make it very clear, or at least partially. Do you have any objections or arguments?
I just feel stupid for trying to keep a secret when you're just gonna blow it off anyway.
They've learned a little too much too fast. I think it's quite time that we be honest with them.
I wish I could have been honest with them.
Well, frankly, I didn't think they needed to know, but now that they're going to find out anyway, we might as well spill the beans.
What all should they know, then?
Well, that this is probably some of the most dangerous things that they could have possibly come into contact with. See anything like that? You make damn well sure to grab a hold of it, and if you cannot get a hold of it before anyone else, run.
Sorry, you said it was a...
It is a vial full of red liquid.
I'm not going to approach it, I'm just going to point to it and ask what that is.
Use any other defining qualities, Ron, that I am forgetting.
It is somewhat luminescent, like lightly luminescent. It glows somewhat.
If any of you were wondering, this is part of the Reich's goals in their murders.
Quite.
I don't know exactly how it works, but essentially it is an extremely potent energy source. It's called Crimtane. The Reich, specifically, source it from blood.
That would explain
That
the
makes
bodies
sense.
being 6 found on the lower levels.
Precisely. Although this is definitely a less potent variant of it. Vale, you got this from the goblins, right?
He responds in kind. Yes, I believe so.
As I feared, the goblins are still working with Bumbly.
Yes. It's one of the major trade routes around this city.
Do you know if Bumbly is any way affiliated with the Reich or Neo?
That depends. Amelie. He stares at you, looking you over.
Okay. Question mark.
Have you had any trouble?
What exactly do you mean by trouble?
No cracks? That's odd. I expected you to have exerted yourself a little extra. He seems a little
What do you
puzzled.
mean by cracks?
Well, when you have a bunch of crystals formed all together in one giant cluster, they tend to not really hold stable so well whenever there's no energy involved.
So is Amelie not sourced
What do you mean?
correctly?
No. It's just something that happens when you get desperately low on fuel.
So, as I was suspecting, you are implying that Crimtane is involved in the creation of prismatics. Or at least the fueling of prismatics.
Exactly.
And do you think this has anything to do with Neo's new flight ability?
Quite possibly. Although, I do wonder. He grabs the shot bottle, makes sure the cap is on it nice and snug, and tosses it to Amelie.
Emily.
Amelie.
Bro, it's like the 5th time we made this mistake.
For real. Okay,
Anyways.
sorry. I catch it, but, like, what am I supposed to do with it?
Well, go on then. Drink
I
up.
don't. Are you sure she can handle that?
Yes.
I'm confused.
Weren't you just telling us to be very careful with this?
Well, we gotta see what it's for, don't we?
I don't want her to explode.
She's not going to explode if they're selling this stuff like this.
I'm just gonna down it.
Selling?
I'm downing it right now as you're talking.
Okay.
What you initially feared from the smell of roadkill, tastes far better than you expected. It was exactly what you needed. You feel a lot more energized now. And you feel disgusted at the fact that you are enjoying the drink.
That's why they call me the drink.
Shut the fuck up.
What's wrong with 6 over there?
He was
Too many bullets.
resting from his wounds.
He goes to peer over him. He moves his hand over what were obviously the bullet wounds. His head slowly turns toward Amelie. Would you heal him?
Did she not?
Take a close look at my HP.
Obviously not.
I guess stop the bleeding then, is what she did?
I mean, the bullets are out,
She
Ah,
as you
yeah.
said yourself.
She stopped the bleeding, all right.
Can you stop speaking in riddles and just tell us what's going on?
I'm going to go over to him and put my fingers on his neck to feel his pulse.
He still has one.
The way you said that made it sound like his heart had stopped.
Ron snaps his fingers. Heal him, now.
Pushy much?
Yeah, for real.
Now!
Oh my god. Okay, then I will heal 6 again.
All right.
Fully.
Yes, roll your dice for Cure Wounds. You're probably casting it at the highest level you can, right? There you go. 10. All right, you heal him by 10.
By the way, Veal has been staring at Amelie since she
I
drank
said,
that bottle.
yeah, I can imagine why.
Oh, Mel, you can very clearly tell that their skin is glittery. You know exactly what they are.
Ooh,
I know what
sadly.
you are.
I know what you are.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Oh,
God.
he's rolling for
So-
restraint.
Is 6
6 was probably still asleep, but I do want him to roll a d20 for me.
God dang.
Oh, that's an 8? Ooh.
Oh, dear.
I got a bad feeling about
Good.
tonight.
The wounds actually do close this time after putting your hands over them. Well, that confirms that theory.
What theory?
Game theory.
Assuming spells don't work as well when you don't have quote-unquote fuel.
Well, it's more than that. I don't know if she knows how to heal people at all in that sense.
Are you implying that Crimtane is her only source of healing?
Not
And that in fact her incantations are nothing but use of Crimtane?
That would be my guess. It's just a simple transfer of fuel. That would also explain why 6 is able to have that arm.
Veal is staring into space as if her cogs are turning.
So, hold on. You're saying that all prismatic implants use Crimtane?
Not all of them, not exactly. But I more so mean that they can use nutrients as a sustenance.
So, if Crimtane is so important to especially full converts, then Neo and Gemini are most definitely interested in buying or sourcing their own Crimtane.
Well, obviously, they wouldn't have a trade route with the goblins otherwise.
And do you think they have a trade route with the Wreck?
What would give you that idea?
Nothing in particular, aside from the Reich's increase in activity in the city. Although that might be a stretch. Obviously, I have not been present here for very long or able to investigate the Reich's movements, but
Ron
that was
glares
our
at
goal.
you.
Can I push 6 with my foot to try and wake him up?
Go ahead.
Okay, I do that.
Veal starts counting on her fingers, staring into nothing.
Huh? What's going on?
Are you alright?
Quite. Other than the fact that we got loads of issues on our hands. And speak of the devil, what? When'd you get here? Why are you here?
After you fell asleep. Amelie
Oh,
decided to get a bit of a snack.
Oh, I figured she was missing some of that. Saw her face in pieces on the floor the other night.
Huh. Is that right?
6, you said some of that quote. Do you know what?
Well, obviously. I mean, she's a full convert. What else could she need? Not food, clearly.
So what else do you know of Crimtane?
I don't exactly know everything, but from what I can piece together, it makes a little bit too much sense. It's called lifeblood, at least where I come from. And the fact that, there are bodies drained of their blood fallen to the Undercity by the rack.
Well, sounds like you and I are thinking along the same lines.
Ron chuckles, although a little more uncomfortably than you would expect.
Ron, what was that look? You're hiding something that I have a feeling that you should tell us.
Listen, I've got more than one question for you. Like, how did they know who I am?
What?
One
The
question.
Reich, they knew who I was. They didn't address me by the name I've been going by since my wings were clipped. And I have a feeling you know a thing or two about that.
What? He seems like he can't believe what you're saying.
Veal keeps glancing between the two in confusion.
Answer me. What do you know about Gemini's connection to the Reich? Only Gemini could have known.
All I know is that I don't think Neo is the type of person to side with them.
Ron,
I
Neo
definitely
or
think he
not,
does. Generally
Hold on.
speaking, go ahead, Yolk.
I was literally just asking you about this, Ron. You seem absolutely offended by the idea that Neo would in any way be related to the Reich or affiliated with the Reich. But my question is, Neo or not, is there any reason you have to believe that Gemini is dealing with the Reich.
Well, I mean, the obvious fuel crisis.
Wouldn't be a fuel crisis if we didn't resort to technology like this anyhow.
And if they are, what Six is getting at could very well be extremely confidential internal discussions. And so therefore Neo would quite likely know something about it.
Here's the thing I'm confused about. You said he was offended by the idea they were related and is now stumbling over his words, acting like he knows nothing about it after I questioned him. That seems pretty suspicious to me. Why are you so offended? Do you think you know the guy? Are you friends with him? Would explain a thing or two about why you're so intent upon playing pansy around this whole situation.
Obviously, I know him, otherwise I wouldn't be acting like this, or at least I did.
You know the freak of nature? The thing that shouldn't exist? Or are you the one who helped make him?
I wish I could take credit for that.
I don't know if you realize this, Six, but this whole world is filled with misfit toys.
Oh, I've no doubt about it.
Ron is no exception.
I just don't understand why he's so sentimental about the whole darn thing.
Regardless, I'd like to confirm his involvement first.
Before putting a bullet in his head?
Yes.
That was the entire idea of this mission, obviously.
I'm aware of that. I don't understand the point of it, and I think it's the most stupid thing anyone on this planet could do. He's a menace. He's absolutely worthless. Just put a bullet in his head and be done with it.
Ron was trying so hard to not say something there.
Go ahead, out with it. All you've been wanting to do is play secret little... What is this to you, a game? How many times are you gonna roll the dice and come up ones before you figure out what's up here?
Like you would know a thing or two about how that works.
Absolutely I do. That's why I'm telling you to throw them again, buddy.
Six, what are you on about?
Trying to get this bastard to be honest with us.
Okay, if you want my honesty, then have this. The type of person that Neo was would have hated that Reich perhaps more than even I do.
So is he of some moral disposition?
More like a personal one.
Oh, so he's just got something against Nazis.
Are you implying that Neo knew the head of the Reich personally?
Yes.
In what way? A friendly way?
Why is this...
Clearly not if you're saying he doesn't like him.
Ron, what kind of relationship did they have? Was it in any way involved with the heirs or the labs?
Not exactly.
What do you mean, not exactly?
No, it's a different affair. Regardless, let's just say the Reich was instrumental in stripping Neo of who he was.
Oh, so you're saying we gotta restore Neo now?
If he's not affiliated with them, he might be a powerful ally.
In what war?
He would certainly be a powerful something, but ally, I don't know if we can say so.
Pretty sure everyone here has a reason to want to hate that guy.
Unfortunately, I can't say that I do, but I understand the sentiment.
Question for you, Ron. You knew Amelie was a full convert. You knew full converts are susceptible to interesting interactions with Gemini Corp. Why'd you hire one?
Well,
Precisely for that reason.
An experiment? You're telling me you took you put this... Sorry. Let me try and keep calm here.
all I know is I verified that they would not be a surveillance risk.
As far as I understand it, Amelie might have insight into this particular scenario, even if she doesn't realize it.
That very well may be true. As far as I can tell, the kid can't piece together where she came from or who she is.
Other than that, Vale, you said, what's her role in this?
Well, she's your way of getting around.
He nods. Vale proceeds to jingle a couple keys in her pocket. Transportation.
Six looks over towards Vale, just now noticing they're there. Sorry, ma'am. I don't think I caught your name.
You may call me Bolded Veal, or Veal for short. And yours?
You can call me Six.
Understood.
Very upfront and very surgical. I'll say I like you for that.
I appreciate the sentiment.
Regardless, you need a better way of getting around the lower city after your escapades.
You mean our absolutely wonderful tirade through the lower city?
I'd rather Richard not disappear, if you catch my drift.
Oh, I absolutely catch your drift. But I mean, of what use is he to you after we get the information from us? Actually, hold on a second. Can't you just give us the information right here and now?
About what?
About you sent us after Richard to collect information of some sort, did you not?
I wanted to give you guys a very broad reach of the area, but you got a rustled the hornet's nest enough that I guess we already know what's going on.
Well, yeah, and thankfully we now know there's a deeper connection between the Reich and Gemini.
Exactly.
You're welcome, by the way.
And I do appreciate your digging.
If Ron was not concerned, he would not have appeared in person. I'll tell you that much.
Your concern is about as appreciated as Gemini's offer to me for full conversion.
His concern is that we are failing at doing our job and is giving us
I feel that's an assumption on your part, but regardless.
That is an assumption. I was actually going to thank Six for his bullheadedness, but to warn him to not do it again. I had to get Vale involved to make sure that you could keep your activities under wraps, but you've definitely learned a little more than I wanted.
That's exactly been my point half of the time, and Six and
Yolk.
not seem to just blow over
Yolk.
it.
Finally, someone Yolk respects enough to actually shut up when they tell him to.
He's not used to not being the leader.
He can lead and be whatever kind of Boy Scout he wants. I just can't guarantee that I'll play along with it.
I am going to warn you that you might get yourself into trouble pretty damn quick.
I already knew that after this first interaction. I already know that we're probably under surveillance right this second. Lusat, maybe you best keep a lower profile in the future.
Well, I do know that you've definitely rustled a few feathers. There's already reports.
Good.
No, that's not good.
Yolk.
I was going to recommend keeping a low profile for now.
I can do that just fine. I've been doing it for how many years now?
I appreciate your work, Six.
Thank you. Glad to see my employer values my work.
I also value your life. Please don't throw it away so recklessly.
My life is only worth how much I make it worth. In regards to this whole situation, what I'm not understanding here exactly is how much do you know if you're trusting us with this task? Because you seem to know a whole lot, but you also seem to know nothing at all at the same time.
My problem isn't exactly that I don't know much, but rather that I can't do much. My hands are tied.
How much risk is it for you to be here right now?
Not very. I scoped things out. We're fine.
And another thing. Lifeblood. Aside from it being the mystical drug for any and all prismatics, full conversions primarily, it's not that hard to tell what it is, given that, semi-converts don't need it. You'd think more people would piece this together.
Well, that's the problem, Six. They are.
Oh, that's wonderful. PR nightmare?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing a lot of people are getting taken down by a team of elites, perhaps. Silencing the public.
Yeah, a little bit.
Speaking of silencing and valuable lives, Ron, do you have any extra info on whom we might need to pursue for the assassination attempt on Neo?
Assassination attempt. Oh, right, that. I've got an idea, but I can't confirm it.
And if you want Neo alive, to confirm whether or not he is directly affiliated with the Reich, how are we supposed to ensure his safety from said killer?
That
Wait,
I'm
we're
not
ensuring the
entirely
safety.
sure.
Hold on. My question is, what exactly happened at this assassination attempt? You guys said it looked staged.
He got shot twice in the legs.
Okay, why not the head?
Exactly.
That's
why it looks staged.
people are saying it's staged.
That seems deliberate.
Mhm.
Exactly.
What I'm saying here is too deliberate. That's not good enough for news medias and outlets. 2 shots in both legs.
You never cripple the prey, you cripple the bait.
Veal scritches her chin and thought.
Good observation, Lusat. But just what kind of bait? Bait for
Well,
us? Bait for Ronald? Or is
if-
it the bait for the Reich?
Hold on. We were just talking about a PR nightmare. This could be more of a PR nightmare for Gemini.
How so?
Well, if people were to say it looks staged, because most people could make that assumption, and it looks increasingly
Then it
obvious.
looks bad for...
Uh-huh.
Right. I guess that would make sense.
It seems a tad convoluted, if you ask me. I mean, it would be far easier to just... It's one thing to miraculously dodge a bullet. It's another to get hit by 2 of them. And again, this is a full convert. All I know, this is pennies for him.
I do find it very strange that they chose not to kill him.
But I also find it stranger they didn't make it a little less obvious.
Flight technology.
Orun,
Yes.
you were directly involved in the cleanup, right?
Yes,
Notice
I
anything?
For one, it looked like they were prepared to unleash more shots than they actually used. It seems like they were very well prepared and very accurate, so they definitely did not miss. And also, it seemed like they were wearing some kind of prismatic clothing.
Prismatic clothing. No, they were probably just using their body.
It looked like a cloth pattern.
Wouldn't they have just detached some prismatics from their body?
Possibly.
Seems almost deliberate. Again, this all seems a little too...
But why would Gemini fake an assassination attempt right when these people come in? To source them
Another
out?
interesting thing to note is that this was an unveiling of new technology. Why would they want to stage it then, too? Would distract from kind of the point and would make their PR worse. Unless they're
Are
just
they
incredibly stupid.
I
to-
highly doubt that it was staged by Gemini, but somebody wanted to send a message.
There is one detail that may point to it being staged by Gemini in addition to the things I already mentioned, and that's that Neo's bodyguards, they seem to leave an opening right when the next shot was taken, almost like they wanted it to happen. It could just be incompetence. or it could be intentional. I can't say conclusively, but it is suspicious.
What if somebody in Gemini is trying to get rid of him? What if this is their message that they could if they wanted to?
Infighting.
That would make sense. And also, doing so in front of the Solstanars could make a point.
Oh, Arun, what was the
Yeah.
reaction of the other Solstanars?
Well, it's a little bit hard to see their reactions when most of them are covered by helmets, but from what I saw, they seemed surprised, but this is not. We're trained to not be surprised for very long, so they got back to doing what they're supposed to rather quickly.
Maybe you should gather what their general impressions are, see if it's having some sort of intended effect.
Tomorrow, I do intend to conduct an investigation.
Of what
Ron,
kind?
you mentioned wanting to lay low. What exactly does that entail?
Well, not being spotted by the Reich, for starters. You made quite a stir.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I wish I had my silencer back.
Oh?
At least I got a good fight out of it.
Yeah, my old sidearm.
What kind of risks can we take?
I'd say the biggest risks you could take are in the upper city. The lower city is crawling with the Reich.
So, is Gemini not really that much of a problem to us right now?
I would say that the Reich is the major militant force. I don't believe Gemini has it out for any of you, at least not yet.
That would explain why they completely left us alone when I attempted to get through to the elevator.
Left you alone?
Oh, yeah, well, me and Lusat
Suspicious.
encountered some difficulties getting down to the lower level.
Oh.
So, I gestured towards my revolver. Things got a little messy.
That could also point to infighting.
They wanted us down there. Whoever is on the inside, you're saying?
Potentially.
I still can't get out of my head the fact that they knew me.
They
What?
quite likely wanted, if this internal Gemini person who staged this attempt quite possibly wanted us out of the area, and recognizing us, let us pass on by.
6,
What's up?
you went to the lower city in the attempt to meet Richard, right?
Of
Did
course.
you ever meet with him?
Absolutely not. I felt it was keen to avoid contact given I knew the Reich was on my tail.
What if the person that let you into the lower city from the higher end has ties to the Reich?
It would make sense.
So as to lead.
You do know of the prismatic birds we encountered, correct?
I didn't exactly hear about that, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Wonderful.
If those are obviously directly helping the Reich, then it is quite possible that someone in Gemini is a double agent.
Veal speaks up. One question.
Yes, Vale.
She points at Lusat. How tall are you?
E3.
She hesitates, tapping her chin. Yes, that will work. You'll fit.
What?
For
I'm
context,
assuming
this
the
entire
keys-
time, Lusat's been in a corner slowly picking bullets out of his skin.
I would have laughed so hard if you said slowly starting to, like, fucking grind his weapon again.
No, the second I got all the bullets out of my skin, then I go back to grinding the axe.
Six is gonna light a cigarette, put it in his mouth, lean against the wall, and then half smirk at Ron.
Right. Well, if that's the entire conversation, I would like to step out for a minute to grab something. I'm going.
Very nice.
Should we discuss tomorrow's plans before that?
I am not going to be long. I just need to grab something.
So be it.
I'm going to walk out the door. I'm gonna be gone for like maybe 3 minutes, I'm gonna walk back in with a robe, put it on the coat rack, and then sit back down where I was sitting before.
You said Gemini was working with the goblins.
Well, yes, that's a trade route.
What are the goblins gaining? Money?
Money and potentially other materials, supplies. I imagine they're using some form of prismatic tech for lenses and things of that nature.
Does reunion create Crimtane?
There's an interesting question. Not precisely, but Crimtane is definitely involved with some very dangerous pursuits of reunion and what that leads to.
Dangerous pursuits. Are you alluding to some kind of ascension?
Yes.
And do you think reunion is directly involved with that?
Not directly, but it can certainly be the first step.
If I'm remembering correctly, Neo is directly involved in the Colosseum,
Right.
which is run by goblins and a source of reunions.
In your particular case, yes. I guess there have been a couple of others since then. I think that would more so had to do with Neo himself.
You're thinking Neo is somewhat deranged in that regard?
Not exactly deranged, but he's certainly looking into it.
Obsessed.
Quite.
Do you know if Neo himself has experienced reunion?
As far as I know, it's not exactly possible.
Six tips his hat at Ron.
Are you implying that it's not exactly possible for you either?
I don't think you're quite thinking along the right lines, he chuckles.
Well, perhaps I am making too many assumptions, but...
Quite.
6, I feel like there are some things we should discuss about Neo at a later date.
Orun,
Yes?
have you seen anything?
Judging by the vagueness of that question, I'm assuming that if I had, I would know quite certainly what you're talking about, and since I don't, I'm going to say no.
That's at least somewhat comforting to know. Yolk, if she sees anything, you let me know as soon as possible.
Has this
I'll
got
do my
anything
best.
to do with that clone?
Most likely.
Clone. I guess that's one way of putting it.
Copy, whatever you call it.
Do you have any information on this double?
It's quite funny.
Are they involved in Gemini?
Not as far as I'm aware, but we haven't seen them for the last 20 years.
This could be dangerous.
Do you remember the tiefling?
I forget her name. Wait a minute. Isn't she... I remember something... Can I make him a history check?
Yes. Oh my god! Perfect eidetic memory.
I'm not sure this memory is my own, but I recall perhaps it was Mudhaven. Or was it she was drinking herself away, I believe?
Man, after what happened with Bumbly and Terra, I wouldn't be surprised.
Something about a Vidalcan and Magister? I don't know that name.
If you see anything, you let me know as quickly as possible.
I will do my best, but if she was last seen in Mudhaven, then it's quite possible that we will see nothing of her.
I wouldn't count on it. That's quite optimistic.
Do you think she still has ties to Bumbly?
I'm greatly unsettled by the fact that Orun was baited here.
And if you think that Neo is obsessed with reunion, then
Yes.
I see.
Vale,
Yes.
you'll be their transport.
She nods. Understood.
I would love to continue yapping, but unfortunately, I do have some other business too. He tilts his head, seemingly bothered by something. Attend to.
Six puts his hand on Ron's shoulder. Make sure to keep in contact.
He nods. I apologize for the lack of information. I didn't know you would get in this deep so fast. Know that it was to protect you more than anything. This information is very dangerous.
Apology accepted.
Thank you. He walks out the door and shuts it behind him.
As soon as he shuts the door, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna lay on the bed, looking exhausted.
Oh, y'all best head to sleep. And Lucia, I swear to the high heavens, get yourself some rest. You ain't gonna take that many bullets and not earn it.
I'm gonna roll Constitution to not sleep again.
Lusat, would
God
there
damn.
be any way and any you can let me heal you?
Not gonna happen, and I wouldn't try it.
God damn it.
I'm gonna metagame here. Don't do it.
Specifically
I am
told
also
Mike that I wanted
metagaming.
to try.
Because if Amelie even asked that question, I would be rolling initiative.
Oh my god.
Don't
Damn.
do it.
At least show some kindness.
I
No,
am.
he's
You're still
racist.
alive.
He's racist. Leave him alone.
Womp womp. Get over it.
Womp womp. He's racist. Womp womp.
You know, on the off chance I ever finish writing this
That's what he's
backstory,
gonna
I
say
will
after he
post
ki-
it.
That's what he's gonna say after he smashed your face. And don't do it.
No, Lusat wouldn't say anything, but he might think it.
I can just imagine the funniest womp womp voice inside his head.
Womp womp.
No, it's more like a squeaky toy voice.
Womp womp.
Anyway, that's a 22 on Constitution.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Bro's
Here we
staying
go.
awake.
I just stare at him. Are you friggin' serious?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, screw you, Lucia. If you want to refuse rest like a true hunter, then go right ahead.
Vale,
Yes.
you get a call as you prepare to fall asleep.
We all have these little communication devices now, right? Little earpieces.
Yep.
Okay. She accepts the little call with the press of a button.
Evening. I was actually calling in regards to your report. This is Jade with data. You said you were missing 50 milliliters. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Was it missing from the onset?
Yes, when I received the shipment, it did not contain 50 milliliters, as it was described.
Well, that's what I needed to hear. We've been trying to pin down where our shipments have kept going. They've been shorting us for a while. It's led to a lot of problems. Now I can properly file my case, Miss... God, they have you down here as numbers. What's your name? I gotta make sure that I'm referring to you correctly.
Bolded veal.
Vale, is it? You can
Yes.
hear her speaking with a thick German accent, so veal is hard to do. Vale is what she calls you. I just had a spreadsheet of numbers and letters. We have to categorize you that way, but I'd rather get to know you somewhat personally. You might be dealing with me a little more often from here on. I'm making a case against the goblins. They've shorted us for long enough.
I understand. I am here to provide the information you need.
Thank you. Well, I will certainly be in contact with you soon.
Of course.
Feel free to contact me with any other information you might have.
Will do. Thank you.
Of course. You take care.
You too. She hangs up.
Very nice phone call music.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was kind of funky. I liked it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see my DM, my very nice and lovely DM.
Was it KYS?
Yes, it was.
I'm so good at this.
Crazy.
That sounds about right, though.
So does Lusat heal then overnight, or what? How does that work?
Well, yeah, Lusat will actually recover overnight, but he does not need to sleep.
Okay, so 6 does as well.
Yes.
Yippee, much needed. If it's morning, I would like to speak with Vale. Where exactly are you supposed to be transporting us to?
Wherever you may wish.
Well, after I wake up, I would like to I would like to let everybody know that currently my plans are, since I am not really able to directly participate in a lot of the things you're doing, instead I am going to try and get an audience with Neo and try to conduct a legal investigation on what happened. Even if he refuses, it'll at least show that it'll make it look like I don't know what's going on, and also I'm looking out for his best interests.
6 is going to immediately walk over to Amelie and place his non-prismatic hand on her head. And DMs, both of you.
Oh no. Group DM time.
I'm a bit fearful. TBH.
It's nothing to be too scared of.
Do I need to ready the magic missile?
Nah.
Yeah, you're right. Burning hands is probably more than enough.
A bitch slap is probably more than enough.
Out of curiosity, now that you mentioned that, I am just wondering.
What?
Wonder why.
You said a bitch slap was probably enough, so I was just curious, so I rolled for it and a crit.
Oh, damn.
So, Vale, is your appearance in any way confidential?
No.
You are comfortable working with Gemini in person?
Yes. But her mask does help.
You, Arun, and Amelie can take to inside job with Gemini.
I'm not sure how they would be able to help with this. They don't have the same level of authority, and as of right now, they're not publicly associated with me.
That is true, but I feel like Vale can lay low. And
Amelie nods towards 6.
when during this conversation? Like right now?
Yeah, like right now.
Okay. Wait, how are they communicating? What's going on?
Yeah.
Just been going over his head this whole time. He's been talking to Ron. He's been talking to Lusat. He's been talking to everybody except for you, and you haven't gone
Bless your
on
heart.
yet.
Okay, so are you saying he's communicating over our new communication tools? I thought that was like a public thing.
No, he's been setting his arm on people. He's been making a lot of gestures, nods, lots of things. Like it just seems like they've been non-verbally communicating.
I'm in my own world right now.
Really?
Okay, gotcha. That's what the stupid GIF is for. Okay.
Yeah. I will make a small suggestion. Not really metagaming, but just an idea. You might want help, either not disguising, but like probably masking a very giant 8-foot figure in a crowd.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lusat. I don't know the definition of subtlety.
Also,
I'm just putting the idea out there. Putting it out there.
also, he's probably not at all going to be anywhere near Gemini for right now. So
If you want her
Fair.
to live, keep Amelie away from me at all times.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's part of the reason why I want to Amelie to
6
go
is going
to
to address
a
Yulk.
wound.
Yulk,
Yes.
have you ever had any personal experience with lifeblood before?
Personal?
Have you ever
Not
touched it? You absorb fluids through your skin, don't you?
Yes, I can. Why do you ask? Are you
Well-
implying that we should experiment with that? I don't want to.
That wasn't
No.
the implication. Well, I am curious about the possibility. I'm tempted to try something on the spot.
Now?
Yes, now. What else could I possibly mean?
You happen to just have some of this Crimtane lifeblood?
Well, how do you think they get it?
What do you mean, how do you. What? By killing people.
Are
Yeah,
you
look,
suggesting that you want to make some?
I'm suggesting that maybe we take a sample of my blood, give it to Yolk.
Okay, it's gotta be far more complicated than that. It is
Well,
not
I mean-
just simply blood.
That's not entirely accurate. My arm is fueled by it.
I know for a fact that it's not simply just blood. There's far more to it than that. And I'm not sure exactly what all goes into the creation of Crimtane.
Then explain how my arm functions on normal body production.
Not all, as Ron was saying, not all prismatics are fueled by lifeblood entirely. It could be a similar concept applied to your physical arm. It doesn't necessarily have to be lifeblood itself.
Okay, here's another question for you. How do you think Amelie was able to remove the bullets without healing the wound?
I don't know. If she's low on fuel, then her magic is weaker.
Hypothetically, could be my own blood she used to close the wound.
Maybe, but how do we know that? Well, I guess if she was draining your physical energy.
Makes sense. As for the reason why I'm asking you these questions, well, I mean, Cat's kind of already out the bag. I'm psychic.
Yes. And
I saw stuff.
you saw what?
A vision. Woo. Yeah. No.
Are you implying that you read my mind?
No, not your mind specifically. Let's just say very similar imagery appeared from both you and Amelie. And I'm wondering why you were there.
Describe.
If my guess is correct, Amelie's fingertips took a root-like shape into the bullet hole wound. And so did you. Like, reaching out towards me. You didn't make contact. Something tells me you possess very similar properties to prismatics. Or something of the sort.
I'm quite flexible and able to reorder my body shape in any way that I desire. Perhaps your dream is a little self-explanatory.
Perhaps. But I don't understand why it would be so... It seems odd that you in specific appear.
So, is this vision of when you were asleep?
Yeah. I just want to know what happened.
I
If
was
you're capable
most
of something
certainly
very...
not reaching out to you physically.
Well, obviously not. But, I mean, imagery and whatnot.
I know not of healing abilities.
That's clearly not imagery of healing. I was being drained of something I needed. The roots on you would indicate that you possess some similar ability or might be capable of something similar or need some kind of fuel of a similar nature. Speaking of, back in that previous conversation, you mentioned something about don't know if those memories belong to you.
Which conversation?
The one with Ron last night.
I'm sorry.
You were recalling something?
Well, it seems pretty obvious the reason to that, doesn't it? Something to do with the copies.
That's what I was figuring. But if he doesn't know the memories belong to him, does that mean his clone is basically 1-to-1 to him?
Sorry, there's a lot of memories floating in my head right now. Which ones are you speaking on?
Something about a tiefling.
I've been to Mudhaven multiple times, but I'm not sure which memories are mine or not.
Fascinating.
What was your question?
Just wondering if that might tie into this any. Regardless, that's all mindless speculation.
Vale, Arun, and Amelie, you are most qualified to infiltrate Gemini.
I'm not exactly sure how we're going to help you.
I know for a
I'm pretty sure we need Vale's help to get through the lower city to meet Reacher.
fact Vale will be useful. And I suspect that Amelie, as a prismatic, would be quite an easy gate, if you know what I mean.
I like where you're hit. I mean, tentacles are at Ilk, but wouldn't it be a little bit too suspicious to have a Solstinar just kind of having a full prismatic escort when this is like supposed to be a unification? Raises questions about where this one in particular came from. A lot of questions we don't need asked.
Yes, but how much of the population in this city is prismatic to begin with?
That's also a problem.
Upper city or lower city? Because I can guarantee you the ratio on the upper city is much higher than the lower.
Yes, my point is, it's not suspicious in any way, generally speaking.
It's not suspicious because that's the normal populace. The Solstinars are not.
I might be able to benefit from their assistance at some point, but I don't know if that point will come fast enough that they would need to go with me this time.
All right, well, then perhaps we shall keep Amelie with us for today and for the foreseeable future.
My question as well is why you're sending Vale off with them. Again, sending anyone with Arun really would be suspicious.
Vale doesn't need to be physically in contact with Arun. We have communication devices now.
You're correct, but then why wouldn't she just come with us? Considering we need help getting across.
If I may interject.
Go right ahead.
I can always make a pit stop and come back.
Good idea.
A go-between sounds very nice.
There are also options to stay in the car.
Playing go-between does leave you alone.
I am perfectly confident in my abilities.
At the moment, I don't think that I particularly need anybody to go with me, and if I do, I have communication devices and can request it. Also, 6.
Yes?
She walks over to the coat rack and grabs the robe and hands it to you. I know this isn't your style, but let's just say you seem like you're the most likely combination of both being bullheaded enough to get into trouble and not being too bullheaded to try and get help for it. So I think you should have this. If you need any assistance of the magical variety and I'm not there to help you, just shake this like you're trying to get dust out of it.
Okay. 6 takes it.
How easy is it to get a vehicle from one side of the city to the other?
Fairly easy, given enough time.
My question is, how do you get to the lower city to the upper city?
I have my methods.
That's it. That's nice.
How much time are we talking?
You have to get it in the elevator, which is funny.
Still possible, though.
Yeah, it is possible. It's just really silly. So you could get to the elevator from where you guys are at right now in probably about 30 minutes.
I hate to interject, but I do have somewhere to be pretty fast, so if y'all don't have anything else you want to say to me, I'm going to try and go get that audience.
Yes, let's get going.
Alright then. 6 is just gonna wave goodbye. Take care of yourself.
Vale gives a small wave.
I'm going to wave back. Then I'm going to put on my Solstinar uniform, exit, and head for wherever I would need to go.
Okay.
How many does the vehicle seat?
Right, we talked about it being a van. That's right. We went with the van idea. Okay, so
Yeah.
it would probably seat 6, but at the same time, you also have a lot of extra space there, so you could cram people in there if you needed to.
And Lusat and I are also large, so.
Yes.
The van usually seats 7.
But how do we get Lusat in there?
He'll fit. He just doesn't
That's
get
not
to
the
sit down.
question.
It'll work.
How do we get Lusat to go in there?
Oh. Ask nicely.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hold on, I'll try and smooth things over. All right, big guy, we're going on a car trip. Oh, lovely. Not in a talking mood today, are we? Listen, if you get in the vehicle, we can go hunt stuff again.
Do I even need to elaborate why putting me in a closed container with that thing is a bad idea?
I understand you don't like elves. Just go with it.
Lusat, make a con check for me.
Dirty 20.
Well,
Hold
sounds
on.
like he successfully.
No. That was a different roll.
Let's find out.
Uh-oh.
Ha!
Oh, jeez!
Yes! Lusat actually, takes a knee the first time you've seen.
Oh, Jesus, big
Like,
guy, you're
really?
pushing too hard.
Mendax.
What's that, Lusat? What are you saying?
If that thing doesn't make it the whole way, I'm not responsible for it.
Just keep calm, buddy. It's not a challenge in hunting if you already know you're gonna win, is it?
Veal blinks a couple times, not sure exactly what she's witnessing.
Okay, if Lusat is weary now, we might be able to force him in the vehicle.
That is a horrible idea if I've ever heard one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely a horrible idea.
He also
One person for each limb.
No. Do you get in the car, Lusat?
The death glare towards Amelie, I enter.
Make sure you sit on the opposite side of the vehicle,
Lusat's
kiddo.
in the back. Lusat's in the back. Amelie's in the front. I will sit in between Lusat and Amelie, vertical or front to
6. Go ahead and make an insight check as well.
Can I finish what I was saying, please?
Go ahead.
It's a little bit metagamey, but I still want to say it. The thing that I gave 6, it's not a one-time use item. Don't be stingy with it.
Okay.
Veal shuts both the back doors, saying, "Hold tight," and seats herself in the front seat.
Yolk is pretty good at holding things, with as many limbs as he has.
How many does he have?
Yes.
Theoretically,
Yes.
as much as he wants.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
I'd say as much as he wants, but
Think of Yolk like a literal meat sack that can change what he's shaped like at will. That is Yolk.
Formless.
Yeah, kind of formless.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a goop monster.
Ooh,
You guys are
squelchy.
over-explaining flesh
yeah.
jello.
When Tumblr users say their pronouns can't be pronounced by man, that's what they mean. Yolk is what they mean.
Oh my god.
I pronounce every single Tumblr user's pronouns with one word. Dead.
Dang.
Vale, do you turn on the radio?
Please.
This sounds very metagamey, Mike.
Let's not.
I'm really, really scared that 6 will sing along with the radio, and that will not end well.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
terrified of.
I think that'd be funny, but I think you guys should ask for it too.
You know what would be
in
hilarious?
character.
Scott sings along with the radio.
It depends on if it's a Western track.
Yolk will
I
very
think
much
what would be
not
hilarious
ask
is
for
if the
radio to
reports
play.
from the lower city came in.
Oh, Who's sitting in the passenger seat?
Oh, damn.
That's
a good point.
Lisa.
Yep.
Is anyone in the passenger seat?
That would be
Am I in the
Amelie.
passenger seat? Yeah, okay.
The passenger
Well,
seat is
you're
very
free to
far
press
away from me.
buttons.
Hey,
Um,
don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, 6 would probably be the one to think of that.
Yep. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Alrighty.
You got any way of communicating or radio on this thing?
There are a couple. Yes.
All
Presses a
right.
button, and you hear static, or a couple knobs are turned, and people start talking.
Be on the lookout for a large Goliath running around in the lower city. Reports have come in of 2 murders that took place. Definitely involved in them. One of the poor prismatics that resided down there sadly lost her life as a pile and ended up as a pile of glass.
Heh. She
Uh,
did get what she wanted.
Not exactly.
Veal blinks a couple times, realizing the situation, and presses a button, and there's a glittery sheen that starts to go over the whole van. It's quite simple. You are in the van, they cannot see you.
What about when we're outside the van?
They can see you.
That was very apt. Thank you. I like this one.
Anytime.
I like this one. Blue shot, isn't she a hoot?
Oh yeah, by now she has started the car and they're going.
All right. Do you turn anything else on the radio?
Don't give Ron the satisfaction of letting him change the music.
We need to drain every ounce of information out of the radio as we possibly can from Ronald.
She doesn't change it, but she does say the buttons for the communication device are here. The radio is here. It is also music. Please do not press anything else. And she looks at Emily.
Pushes
Push the self-destruct button.
We've been gathering reports regarding a strange symbol that has been appearing in the upper city. One of those pranksters is at it again. Genuinely bothersome little rat. If you have any ideas as to who has been carving these symbols in the nearby buildings, now is the time. Report it to Gemini's data department. It is 2 R's that are facing opposite each other with a line connected at the bottom.
A skull.
You are correct in assuming this, Yulk. They only found 2 bodies. We left 9 down there.
They only reported
Ooh.
2 bodies.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was hungry.
Right.
If they're finding the Reich bodies, why on earth would Gemini report that? Whether they're affiliated with the Reich or not, they probably don't want that public.
Sorry, maybe this universe doesn't have journalistic integrity. Now I'm just finding that out.
It took you this long to find out.
I'm aware that it doesn't exist. I just need to kill more people and maybe it'll start showing up.
I would like to point out it doesn't exist in any universe.
This is what it looks like.
Jordan Shanks says otherwise.
Am I gonna have to look up stuff for this?
No,
It's Norse.
it's just a calling card. It's not that deep.
I don't know. Everything else I have to whip out Google for. So
Yeah, remember that entire message that you left in German that Six translated because he's sane?
It's a little fun.
It was fun.
it's fine. I just think it's a little bit much.
If I had to read that entire thing in German, I would have posted your IP address.
There were things lost in translation to English, and that makes me sad.
Well, I mean, it's not like I was. Okay, question, Ron. How am I supposed to understand the nuances of German?
Fair point.
Look it up.
Oh, I'm supposed to research German, learn German just for this campaign.
No, you don't have to. It
See
is
my point.
It is fun that I was able to write details in, though. Anyway.
I'm happy that you know German, buddy.
When shall we arrive?
Sorry, I have to do more radio reports. you hear about the story regarding the assassination attempt, which they are labeling as an assassination attempt.
Fascinating. And I'm assuming this is from Gemini's own
Yes.
news outlet.
Yes.
Well, of course they would.
There are opinion pieces of some of the people that were reporting on the news, though, and they are speculating the return of a serial killer from several years ago.
Did they mention a name?
More of a title. The hero killer. They speculated return to once again strike fear into people's hearts. Basically, how they talked about it was as though they would slaughter people who finally started to give people hope. And they would do it on purpose.
Okay, question. Would I have ever heard about this?
No, it was before your time.
Oh.
Is this Gemini Valley specific?
No, this is country specific. They were active and speculated to be instrumental in the downfall of the country.
Frick.
Uh-oh. Yolk knows what's up. That's not good.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
What if it's just made up?
It might be made up, but I have a feeling it's not.
You do hear reports about a lifeblood shortage, and it continues to be ongoing. That people are starting to notice how bad it's getting. Suppliers are running out, and they have to turn customers away.
And are there long-term side effects of lifeblood deficiencies in the general populace?
They're not mentioning anything about it, but they do mention that it's bad, and people are having to reduce activity as a result. Hi, cat. Hi. Mario is assaulting me. Hello.
Also, if Country Roads ever appears on the radio, I absolutely am singing it.
Fortunately, we're on a talk show.
That's fair, but I'm just saying.
There is coverage regarding the Solstinar's appearance and how the assassination attempt definitely soured the mood as to their introductions and greetings, but they still work to maintain safety of their future business partners and allies. The talk show hosts do seem quite concerned that it happened at such an inopportune time, which ties back into the speculation regarding the hero killer. They might have done this just to disrupt the event. But it is just speculation.
Neo a hero, huh? Seems like they're just kind of ignoring the whole PR nightmare.
Or maybe they're using it to their advantage in some way?
Looks like it's just some counter public relations bullcrap.
Perhaps.
They're on damage control.
They mention that the local business serving Cactus Ale has been doing very well recently. It's speculated that it's an attempt to recreate the experience of drinking lifeblood because of the missing part of it. People are drinking it to cope.
Oh, so it's like nicotine for cigarettes.
You do have to give it to them. The goblins are very capitalistic. Exploit the weak. Get their money.
Is Yolk saying any of this out loud?
No.
Good.
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 I was about to start making lots of goblin jokes.
I was about to start rolling for initiative.
But yeah, those are some of the news stories of the day. You arrive at the elevator and you do the whole inversion process after shoving your invisible car into the elevator somehow.
Somehow.
Miraculously.
No, it's more like they're able to park it in there because it is big enough. It's just quite tight.
No,
I'll be able to
service
get
elevator.
past the guards.
I imagine the elevator is quite large. What I'm wondering is how we got in there inconspicuously.
Yeah, that's my question.
Do we need to roll a combined stealth check?
She contorts the car in such a way where it appears as though nothing is going into the elevator, and then you guys lower itself, and it goes.
Contorts? Like it physically shrinks in the inside?
Not the inside.
Is this a question we need to ask right now?
Not strictly, but
No.
it's a fun world building detail.
It is
One
a fun world. Let's just save the fun world building
One
stuff for the
question.
mid
All right,
section.
that's fair.
Does it change shape and size physically on the inside?
No. Regardless, you continue down after getting out of the elevator and go into the lower city. I'm assuming Mel is going to start taking back roads here.
Yes, every single alleyway.
Mel, you actually do note that it looks like there was a fire recently that burned down a few buildings. So it makes it a little harder for you to go on the route that you normally take.
Okay. Noted.
Oh God,
I heard that chuckle.
was that in character?
You know what? Yes.
Oh dear Lord, what are you laughing about right now?
Good times.
A fire, maybe? You know, an alleyway that may or may not have been blocked by a giant bonfire that burned down a merchant.
Oh yeah, I forgot who I was talking to for a second. You know, you should do that more often.
Okay.
Usopp will remember that.
You start going along the way. You see a lot of red parasols open as per usual.
Hold tight.
God dang it, my mic won't pick up my whistles.
Are you whistling like catcalling or?
God dang it. God dang noise reduction. Yes, I absolutely am.
Yeah, just
dang.
describe it.
6, what's wrong with you?
He's laughing while doing it. I'll say that much. He's just doing it to be a dick.
Careful. Don't blow our cover.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to shatter the vehicle.
Are we driving physically into the mine shaft or parking outside? Probably should go physically in at least some ways so that we are undetectable at that point.
6, you have a communication device, by the way. Do you choose to use it?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was zoned out for a second. Yeah, let's do that.
He was distracted.
Ah, yes, I was incredibly distracted by some wonderful views. In all actuality, it was my cat.
Regardless, the first ring gives no answer.
No answer?
No answer.
Go for it again.
That's a problem.
No immediate answer.
All right, I'm gonna ring him again.
No answer.
Doesn't anyone these days know how to pick up their goddamn phone?
Yolk's going to ask 6 who he's calling.
I'm trying to get in contact with the guard who I saw when I was last here.
Sounds to me like he's dead.
He might be. Or he's just not available at the moment.
If you led the Reich directly here, do you think we should be back here?
If anything, I think it's beneficial to us to be back.
Veal is
How
keeping
many-
a lookout.
You start going into the mine shaft, seeing the crystals on the conveyor belts being hauled out by carts. After a certain point, you stop seeing crystals being back on the mine cart. It looks like operations are starting to cease for some reason.
That's really not good. Alright, I'm gonna perception this real quick. I want to see any signs of a struggle.
You don't notice any particular signs of a scuffle, just an absent guard.
If there's no one visually inside the cave, can I search specifically for prismatic birds?
You just don't see any. Although you definitely start to see a lot more crystals in the cavern itself as you go deeper in. You see your reflections in a lot of them. You look into the crystals, and not only do you see yourself, but you see an image of a heavily armored figure, about as tall as you.
Tall as who?
Yolk, as tall as Yolk.
Okay, just making sure, because
Yeah.
it was...
Similar mass.
They can see that or only I?
You can see that. You can see that in your reflections. It almost seems like they're meshed together.
Yolk is going to exit the vehicle outside of the window if possible. And do so stealthily as much as possible.
You can certainly fit under the conveyor belt.
That sounds like a great idea.
Go ahead and roll stealth for me.
Veal mutters, "There's a back door."
6 got healed at eventually, yes.
Yes.
Right
so
now
I
they're
can,
actually in the mine shaft.
Dang, Al. Okay.
I can. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, Mel has the equivalent of the invisible car because prismatics. So
For however long it lasts.
It's the invisible boatmobile.
Yeah.
well, the 3 is still a 14, so you seem relatively well hidden.
While there's still a majority of people in the car still, Veal says, "Do we want to station a lookout? I implore at least one other person to stay here to keep watch."
Lusat and Amelie should very much not be left in the car together.
Does anyone else get out of the car?
I feel like Amelie might be the best play here just because she's a prismatic and
She
she
is
can
also
kind of
prismatic.
camouflage.
I agree with that.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Wag money.
How do you get out of the car? Do you just take the door, or
Yeah.
Can I communicate with the rest of the people in the vehicle with our tech now
yes?
and with Amelie?
Yes.
I'm going to let Amelie know that I'll keep watch from underneath the conveyor belt.
I'm also assuming that Amelie is starting to come to grips with the fact that they are in fact a prismatic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that drinking the Crentane was pretty.
Enlightening.
She might still be in denial, but.
She liked it, frowny face.
Okay, so is there anything else of note?
Amelie, roll a perception check for me.
Bruh.
Oh.
Bruh, indeed.
For a moment.
At least
Wait a
it
minute,
wasn't
doesn't she
nat
get
one.
bonuses because of her eye? Her eyes, rather.
What are you talking about?
Well, because she is a prismatic, they normally have lenses. He's not wrong, but at the same time, she also isn't using that to her full potential yet. She doesn't see anything noteworthy. I was gonna give her a detail, but she's too stupid to see it, I guess.
I don't think it's too stupid. More like Bot hates her.
Yeah, true.
So the further in we go, the more it looks like production is stopped.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and give a call.
You get a busy signal.
I see. It wasn't that they couldn't pick up, but that they couldn't pick up.
Amelie, I'm gonna give you another chance. Go ahead and roll that perception check. You guys continue further on to the cave, and then you actually start to see some of the buildings where things would be headed. It looks like they are on. Nice. Okay, so it looks like a lot of those buildings are on. So there's people inside there.
Good people. We don't know. We can assume that it's probably not the like.
Amelie, you start looking directly at some of the crystals, but you don't see yourself in the reflection of them whatsoever, like you see with some of the other people on the ground.
Interesting.
I'm just realizing something that's way funnier than it should be.
What?
Vampire. Reflection.
Yeah. I think it may
Yeah,
have...
no. I find it interesting that everyone said interesting when I sort of already ran this experiment with last session.
Oh no. I find something far, far different that's way more entertaining.
What's
Oh.
that?
Talk about it.
Oh.
Oh, you can't tell me about it?
Nope.
Dang.
Anyways, perception check.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, that's a nat 20, but it's a -1.
Well, still, I don't care. What were you trying to perceive?
Anything out of the ordinary from a relative perspective.
From where you're at? Well, I mean, you obviously see the crystals. You also see the lack of a reflection where certain people that you would expect should be there. On top of that, you notice from looking at the house, or I say house, more like office-style building, there look to be like a lot of people in there, and it looks like they are having a bit of a discussion. It doesn't look argumentative, but it looks like there's far more people in there than there normally would be.
Amelie and I are behind, but we're continuing on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask Amelie about the reflection, because obviously I don't see her in the reflection either.
Do you ask if she can see herself, or what?
What do you see in your reflection?
Nothing.
What do you see in my reflection?
You see both Yolk, as you know him, and a very imposing armored figure with glowing eyes. Do you decide to tell him that?
For now, no. Just normal him.
So why can't I see you?
I'm not sure.
Do you guys make any attempt to communicate to us the wonky reflection stuff?
No.
Okay.
All of you in the car, you are close enough to the office building. Do you guys want to make an attempt to go inside it?
Yes.
Veal checks in. How is everything?
Nothing of interest.
Yeah, pretty much nothing.
Have you guys found anything?
Office building.
Sounds like we're following you. Heading your way.
Sounds dandy.
Understood.
Too many people in the building. Could be an ambush.
Dang straight, fella.
I recommend against anything reckless.
It's kind of hard to tell whether or not just going in is going to get reckless. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly, numbers can speak for themselves.
Not innately. We don't know whether these are the numbers we've been chasing or the numbers that are chasing us. I'm going to get out and I'm going to begin approaching the office. I'm going to make an attempt to do so quietly and see if I can listen in on any of the conversations that might be happening inside.
Alright, make a stealth check. 16? Okay. You slowly get up there. You make a slight creak with your foot on the wood, but it doesn't seem to alert anyone.
Do I hear anything?
You hear a conversation, bit of a more burly redneck type, talking to someone whose voice seems a little too smooth, you know?
There's something that I want to do immediately. Well, actually, can I make out any of the words being used?
That's what I was getting to. Well, this demands a little earlier than usual. What brought this on? Nothing. Just they're getting on my back a little bit, you know. I have to keep it hush hush. You follow me? That's why it costs a little more this time too. Of course you'd say that.
Anything else?
Well, I'd rather be able to make a touch of change on this. Make sure that we don't have to file anything. You know, it could get a little messy. The only mess I can see is your entrails on the floor. You hear a loud sip, almost like somebody sipping out of a mug.
I'm following.
We don't have to get that way. Just please. I don't exactly want to be in this situation either. I rather like the business that you're doing. Then why are you charging me more and getting in my way?
Was that supposed to be the redneck dude?
Yes.
Sorry, you didn't slip out of your accent.
I'm trying desperately, but my cat is fucking distracting me.
Okay. Keep going.
Come on, please. Let's just make this easy. I don't want any trouble. Then you shouldn't have come a day or two early.
Do I recognize this voice at all?
Make a history check.
Something tells me that I do. Just a gut feeling. Are you joking me?
No!
Why
damn!
am I now? I'm getting the bad rolls.
You've never heard these people speak in your entire life.
Can I roll again?
Nope.
I can't attempt to
No,
No?
I'm sorry. It's too funny.
Well, I know who's winning funniest not one, and for once it's not me.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I'm 90% certain I know who's speaking right now. Alright, continue on with their conversation. Are they actually going to meet an endpoint on this, or are they just going to keep going, I don't like you. No, I don't like you.
Well, it seems like they start eventually reaching a conclusion where the smooth talker manages to get a lower amount out of it because of the short notice.
How much
I'm just
money are
gonna.
we talking?
I am just going to lean against the wall like I was always supposed to be there.
Is that a deception check?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Watch me get another nat 1.
That would be funny, but it would also give
Don't
me a
jinx
reason to
it.
start splitting skulls.
There we go. 19.
Much better.
Well, you certainly put on a good show. You see a drow and 2 hooded figures walk out of the office.
I'm sorry, what?
A drow.
Uh
And
oh.
2 hooded figures. Yeah, I don't like this.
The hooded figures stench far worse than you could have possibly imagined.
Oh dear.
Stupid high on their strample.
What kind of stench?
Almost like death.
I'm gonna take note of that for later, but I'm not gonna make any attempt to stop them or anything like that.
They don't even seem to look in your direction.
I'm gonna keep my hat a little bit over my head so it's covered by shade.
I'm assuming everyone else is going to make motions to hide then.
Well, we already know one person here isn't prone to hiding and doesn't like drows.
I rolled a 19 on restraint.
And
Good
he
job.
is still in the
Oh.
car.
Did you just say drows?
Drow, but yes.
Oh, I didn't know that's
No,
also I didn't know that was the plural. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Now, if I had rolled anything less than a 10, we would be 1 car door short and probably 1 very angry barbarian.
Yep.
Oh my.
I guess in that case, Yolk and Amelie probably need to make a stealth check. 15. All right.
Why'd it work for you? That's rude.
Nice.
That's funny.
They just barely don't detect him, I'm guessing.
The drow looks in the general direction but doesn't seem to see anything. Rather strange. He motions for his hooded figures to walk with him. They leave the cave in silence.
Alright, I'm going to go into the room he left and see who he was talking to.
All right, bloke, state your business.
Well, howdy there. What's your name?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, that's my business, so I want to know your name.
You gotta earn that first. State your business.
I'm looking for a man.
A man, are you? Alright, you gotta be a little more specific than that.
Well, I can't give away all the answers, can I?
I'm sorry, but you're going to have to answer me pretty quickly, or you might just die where you stand. I'm not exactly in a great mood today.
I can tell. Your name Richard by chance?
He slams his mug on the table. And what would you want with me if it was?
Well, if it ain't Dick the Great. You act like I got some kind of agenda here. You think I look like anyone who's allied with anyone who wants to hurt you?
I can see that arm. I'd rather make sure that it's not of a particular variety.
I'm pretty sure it was you who got me this arm.
Is that so?
Why, yes, sir.
Give a name on your installation.
My installation.
Did you leave a name down on any of the reports? Just so I can verify. I'm sorry, I've had a lot of security risks, and I'd rather make sure that I'm safe.
I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, to be frank with you.
When I got you that arm, allegedly.
I'm not entirely certain, to be frank with you. Would I have some kind of receipt with this written down?
Well, I feel like I would have provided you one.
Is it built into the arm itself by chance?
I'm not exactly that sophisticated. I'd rather the deep state not get their grubby little mitts on everything.
Well, then, wouldn't it be obvious by the fact that there's no sort of manufacturing bullcrap on it?
Alright. Fine, I'll talk. What brings you there?
I suppose it's fine, considering you're the man I'm supposed to meet. Well, actually, how do I actually know you're the real deal? First off, why couldn't I get in contact with your guards after the fact? Is it just because there ain't no signal down here?
Well, he probably was avoiding having his phone ring. If you're who he's been referring to, that wouldn't shut up. Nearly died.
Isn't that just wonderful?
This place has been teeming with them since you had your inopportune escapades. I heard about it on the news.
I am so happy to see my actions have consequences.
Well, I'm glad those weren't my life.
Yes, sir. Question. You know of a man named Ronald?
Work with him a little bit. Why?
He sent me.
Oh, okay. That would make a little more sense. Well...
Also, apologies about the whole Reich situation. Couldn't be helped, I'm afraid.
Glad to know they're not just on my tail now.
I'll shake them soon enough.
Well, first time I can see them not actively being racist.
Well, I mean, are there orcs working here?
Handful of them. They might as well just be livestock to them. They made it as apparent that our very existence is an insult to their kind. He sips his drink. He's got a bit of a pot belly. You can tell that he's got orcish facial features, although his skin looks a little more tan than you would expect. Perhaps a half-breed. The arm that he's been holding his mug with is a prismatic.
How much do you know about full converts?
Not sure I follow. You'll need to be more specific.
Lifeblood in specific.
Very little. I don't really deal with full converts that often. It's not really in my wheelhouse, if you catch my drift. I'm here to replace limbs for people that couldn't normally afford it. Give a bit of a different service, if you will.
What's your relationship like with Gemini?
Not good, I'll tell you that. He was here to collect payment. He's basically been the only thing keeping them off my back. He can be bought.
That dro's name. What is it?
Aeolus from Data. Why?
Does that name ring a bell?
Yes, you definitely recognize that name. You've worked with
I
him
freaking
before.
knew it! Oh my god, I get it. I'm pronouncing Dro wrong. Jesus Christ.
Also, Vale, have you made an attempt to get into the building? Have you decided to go into the building now?
We still have a few people in the car, right?
One.
Azure's in the car.
Okay, I think I'll stay behind.
Okay.
But I did see the drow leave, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See, you even got her stuttering on it. Freaking bastards.
That's just my bad habit.
But you definitely know Aeolus. He works in the data department. You've been with him on a couple of illegal crime busts. Bit of a stuck-up guy. So, how'd you manage to get down here without leading them straight to us?
My connections provided me with a new method of transportation.
Divine connections. Is it a bit of my handiwork, perhaps?
Might be. I'm not entirely certain. Ronald provided it. Well, more like Ronald provided me with a person who provided it.
Is it Vale?
Ding ding, buddy.
Makes sense. Alright, glad he's finally putting my work to good use. I'm grateful you managed to get here undetected.
Yeah. So what exactly am I supposed to be hearing from you?
Well, I'm not sure. What do you want information on? Connections? Things I've got going on?
Dear Lord, I have so many questions. It's unreasonable. Do you know anyone by the name of 42, perhaps? Or call sign, rather?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Of course. Still at square one with that.
Well, I am glad you were at least connected with Vale. That does mean you can get things around, transport.
What do you want us to run errands for you?
I mean, it'd be greatly helpful to what we're trying to do here.
As long as you cough up some coin.
Of course, I wouldn't skimp you.
Anything about the assassination attempt? Air quotes, assassination attempt.
Well, I definitely think it was quite poorly timed.
Yeah, it was very coincidental. Do you think that might point to any?
One of two things happened. Either the person who wanted him dead timed it very poorly, or, yeah, it was some kind of diversion.
One thing's for certain, they weren't gunning for his head.
Interesting.
There's a lot of confusing factors to all this nonsense. I feel like I'm witnessing a conspiracy, and I would know. I used to be part of them.
Well, that would explain why I, kinda got a bad vibe from you at first.
I suppose so, but I've mostly ditched it.
I hope that's accurate.
Speaking of, you wouldn't have happened to come across any silenced pistols, would you?
No, you mean the Gemini standard issue? Those are kind of hard to get a hold of.
Blasted. That thing was my trusty sidearm. I've been sort of in need for something a little bit more inconspicuous given recent encounters.
Well, I might be able to plug you into someone who can deal with weapons.
Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 guns, actually.
Alright.
3 if I have the coin for it.
Sounds wonderful. I don't have any here, but I can at least give you where to go.
That's lovely. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Exactly.
Repeat for me again, what did the Dro want from you? Some kind of collection?
Just a Gemini agent I've been having to pay off. I'd rather not blow the lid on my whole operation. Is Yolk able to assess the situation with everyone inside? Relatively. They know that all of the dudes have left. Yolk is gonna waltz right on in.
You won't be having any dance partners, but...
Evening. He nods his head toward Yolk coming in.
Excuse me for my intrusive friend here.
It's fine. He tilts his head over to him. He seems to look at him a little more closely, and then relaxes again.
Mike, if you ever need me to voice an NPC.
I think that goes for all of us.
So who were the hooded figures? Just collection agents from Gemini, looking for a little bit of extra coin to keep quiet.
So they stumbled upon your operation somehow?
Sadly. It's a little more dangerous to not pay them, I think. About what? Keep quiet to whom? Well, Gemini, obviously. He's taking bribes.
Well, it seems like he was in a bit of a bind.
Maybe more pressure from higher-ups. Speaking of, if Vale is out there at all, I may need to talk to her regarding a evac here soon.
You want me to call her in?
If you would, that might be quite nice.
I'm gonna get on the communicator. Vale, you out there?
Yes. What's up?
Can you come inside real quick? Our lovely guest of honor would like to meet you.
Copy. Being there in 3. You hear a small... as the car locks.
Wonderful.
Do you have a plan? Do you have a... Fuck, now I have to do York's voice. Fuck. Do you have a plan on where to go? Don't try it.
Do you want me to do it instead for you, Yoke?
Fuck. Try it. It'd be funny.
I mean, hell, even I could probably
Need to get a synthesizer for this crap.
That would be fun.
That would actually be fun.
I take it she arrives by now.
Did you leave Lusat in the car or did you shove him out? Or
There is
attempt
no
to?
way. Hell, I am not doing something. I am getting bored of all hell.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're getting out then. Alright.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
try to shoulder check the door.
I just imagine a new door frame appearing in the shape of a certain someone.
And 8'3", you gotta take doors in a different way.
God. You get inside. I'm assuming Lusat follows suit.
Yes.
Ah, Vale, thank you. Glad you made it back here in one piece. As much as I would love to hear this, I should leave this to you all.
Perfect.
Wait, so
Au revoir.
there's 6 and
Hey, that's my
Veal
line.
in the office, and the others are outside?
Yeah, well, Yolk just went back outside.
Okay, so now that is accurate. Got it.
Yes. I'm assuming Azure is going into the office, though.
I can, or I can just stay by the door.
Up to you.
Going inside's probably better for everyone's sake, though.
Yep.
That would make sense.
Oh, there's the other half of the party.
He's more than just a half.
He takes another sip of his booze and then looks at the mug, seemingly disappointed he got sad. And seemingly disappointed that he is out.
Do I have any liquor in my bag?
You do still have some of the cactus juice.
I'm going to pour him some.
Why, thank you.
Ain't no issue, brother. I see a man struggling. I gotta help him.
He downs it. Vale, I'm going to need your help getting to the other half of the lower city. Might actually be safer for me up top before too long here.
Understood. It is of no consequence. Consider it done.
Thank you. I guess consider it the interest on the car.
Was she always like this? Like, how long you two known each other? Seems you got interest and you're just not all too willing to tell.
Connections are very valuable. Of course.
So you're a car person then? Yeah,
It's very useful.
That's
thought you were
people.
outside, Yolk.
He walked back inside.
God dang it, I'm not watching chat anymore.
His mic dying is very inconvenient.
People need to get to places. I take them to places. Easy money.
Anyway, Vale, I must thank you again. He offers to shake your hand.
She accepts with a firm grasp.
Also, Vale, roll a history check for me. Holy fuck. You barely cleared that one. That's funny.
I cleared it at all?
Yeah. Roll a constitution check for me.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is it a joy buzzer? It's gotta be a joy buzzer.
Okay.
It'd be really funny if it was a joy buzzer.
Oh boy.
Ronald, what's happening?
I'm DMing her about something. Don't worry about it.
Okay. That means we should worry about it.
Definitely. Panic ensue, everyone, right now. That's not a that's
I would
that's your,
scream, but you know, I'm in a dorm room with a bunch
yeah,
of
no,
guys, so
I totally get it.
I would commit to the bit if it wasn't this hour.
Yeah.
Fair. I probably would do the same.
Look forward to doing further business with you. Anything else I can do for you? He motions to everyone.
Yeah. What about them connections to weapons vendors you was talking about?
I'm going to contact Akka in regards to that later. You'll get to meet them as I
Akka.
say so.
Why do I feel like I've heard this name before?
You probably have. They're a big underground weapons dealer. He's been a real help for this place.
Bells, I've definitely heard that name before.
How long has she been working with you?
I'd say probably the last year or so.
You know her.
You don't recall?
I
Ran into her in the street.
Yep. I had a feeling. I just wasn't sure. Sorry, I'm not great with names. Especially when one of them that's been the objective for the past few days is a dick joke.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. What on earth made you choose that name?
Because it was funny.
You know what? I respect it.
He flings a business card at you, throws it like a real card, at 6.
I catch.
Make sure your lines aren't tapped or anything.
I can't think of anything and I'm starting to get tired.
Yes.
I have already had so much to put in my brain today. A lot of important things have been discussed.
Yes.
And a lot of cool stuff has happened. Well, a lot of stuff that entails cool stuff will happen in the future. It's not happening right now, though.
True.
Yeah.
This is a lot of setup.
And I'm like trying to put all everything together, and I'm having to pay attention to all these names while also solving conspiracy theories.
Or sequel bait in the MCU.
Jesus Christ, you're not wrong.
That's why I'm writing this shit down, because I know I'm going to forget.
I need to write crap down, but at the same time, I'm probably just gonna watch the VOD back. As a suggestion, how about we end the session off in the vehicle so we could do mid-session conversations there?
Yeah, that works. Also, Vale, as you head out to the
Yes.
vehicle, make 1 perception check for me.
I made 7. All of them were above 15. I've been waiting to do that damn perception check this entire time.
Let him do the perception check already, Ron.
Your reflection in the crystals is completely normal.
Good.
Blue sausage.
Yes.
I would imagine so, given he's not prismatic. Do I see anything different about Yolk
You
in
would
the
have to make
reflections?
you would have to make a perception, but go ahead.
Oh, dang it. You know what? Are you joking, bro?
Oh no.
This is ticking me off.
What? Oh, did you get nothing? Damn.
I'm getting like 5s and 6s today.
So you look at other reflections and you see.
Why'd you have to give me your luck?
Man.
You want to borrow my nat 20?
I got a 16,
Yes.
23.
DMs.
I see-
DMs. Hold on.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I know what I saw, and I saw everything.
I'm genuinely, completely lost on what Musat's, religion is, so I probably need to ask him about that.
You can do that mid next session. I'm
You're definitely not getting an answer out of Musad.
I have no idea why, but I am feeling insanely angry right now.
Oh my!
I can think of a few reasons.
It may be because
That's him.
someone's trying to kill you.
Who's trying to kill me again?
Ow.
Oh, that old joke.
You should totally use the cloak that I gave you. It's definitely not an
It's definitely
assassinate.
not a bomb.
Alright.
Not gonna kill you, trust.
I feel like it's significant enough that, there will be an expression. He seems to be glaring at the crystals. Just glaring because the rest of her face is covered by the mask.
There! Finally! That's 17 because I forgot to put the +1 there. Alright. What in the goddamn do I see?
Would that be a DM's thing, I think?
Yes.
Would this be something I reveal or no?
That is up to you.
Entirely up to you.
I'm a little lost on what these abilities reveal. Would they or would they not be seeing what I'm seeing?
That's what they're rolling perception for.
The world may never know.
Dang it, I should have asked about that while I was in that office. God.
So he asks, "What's it about?"
Yeah. Ronald McDonald.
Yes.
I am going to ask Mr. Dick, what's the deal with the freaky crystals? But, more country and southern life.
It's a window into the things that you might not be the most honest with yourself about.
Ooh. So I'm gonna take a close look at myself. Whoa.
You see a rainbow.
Shut your face. That's quite enough of you, Al.
Yeah, this is a lot of setup, guys. I'm aware.
Oh no, it's completely fine. I just wish I had the patience, the energy, the everything. You know what? I should have brought an energy drink to this, but I didn't because I didn't have the foresight for that. And that's on me. That's entirely on me. But frick you anyways.
Understandable.
The missile is eepy. The missile is very tired. The missile needs eepy.
Also, Mel, by the way, all that DM stuff is related to the consequences that we talked about. And that is all I will say on it.
Understood. I had a feeling that was the case, but thanks for the confirmation.
Do I see anything looking at my own reflection in the crystal?
Nothing but your missing arm and your missing eye.
Oh, so it turns out I'm being pretty honest with myself anyway. Wow, who would have guessed? I've already come to terms with myself as the character.
You're not there, Kip.
Kip, you're blind.
Oh shit, Al.
Yeah.
We have to add a new segment to the awards for Vale, don't we?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have to change things around. God damn.
So if you're having an audience with Neo, then I think it might be one of those situations where we draft up a conversation and then we record it.